So someone was on their YouTube channel asking for more living single episodes. Well, guess what? You're in luck. Welcome to the Curry Gumbo podcast with Nicole and Ashley. Let's get into this next episode. The episode starts with Regine watching the news or watching TV. I don't even know if it's the news, like some type of special on TV about a 75-year-old woman that went vegetarian. And we don't see what Regine is watching, but we can tell like this woman must look amazing because they said she was 75, and Regine was like, "Oh, what?" And from eating this vegetarian diet, and how she has a 25-year-old boyfriend that's her personal trainer. And so Regine was like, "I'm gonna stop eating the meat." And then also in this TV special, they're saying how when you die, your body has something like 10, what they say, was it 10 pounds or 10 years of undigested meat in your system, and eating all these all these different points about how eating meat can speed up the aging process. And that was it for Regine. Regine was like, "I'm trying to look fine and sexy as long as I can." So we're not eating meat no more.
Yeah, we're in that time of the year where a lot of people will be making their resolutions. I maybe because I'm getting older, but I put less effort into making New Year's resolutions, and I align myself more with the T.S. Madison line of thinking, which is, my new year starts on my birthday. That's when, so like my new year starts in September. My new year doesn't start in January. I also have been in school for so long.
Yes, you have.
Either as a student or as a teacher, that my new year often begins with the
when school
academic
starts.
year.
Oh,
Yes.
that makes sense. Okay.
So so that's when I think about like becoming a new person, or shedding some inappropriate habits, things like that. But I think for most people, January is the time that they're thinking about, how do I want to change myself? And so I think weight loss and health journeys are kind of a part of that. Um, and so like that's why this episode really resonated with me. And it also like proves that like Black people been on like a vegetarian wave.
That is true. I was gonna say that.
Black
I was
people
gonna
been on a
mention that.
vegan wave. You know what I'm saying? Like I because her her introduction to vegetarianism reminds me of like my introduction into veganism. I'm a failed vegan. I'm gonna make Joe Rogan proud, because I think he says like most all vegans return to eating meat, and it's like I did, and that's why I'm really upset, because I proved him right. But anyway, you see that documentary. And
There's so
also,
many. Like, which one?
so
What what
you see
what the
forks
health?
over knives.
No,
You see
what the health thing got me?
what the health got everybody. What the health got everybody. When they came after eggs, and they said having eggs and bacon is like having 85,000 cigarettes in the morning. Everybody was like, wait, nigga, what? But I think everybody had known like eggs got hella fucking cholesterol, but you so used to eggs being a part of the start of your day, and you wondering why as you got older you're feeling bad around noon. But um but yeah, like you're watching these documentaries, and the best ones get you when they have testimony from someone who like reversed an illness,
Oh
or
yes.
someone who looks really good. So like I don't remember her name, and I really should have looked it up, but there's like this this video that goes around on social media all the time. Like just randomly I'll see several people post her about this woman who's like in her late 60s, early 70s. She lives a raw food diet. Her husband is like has mobility issues. People
I've
mistake
seen
her
that
husband
one.
for her grandfather. Her skin is fabulous, and she's raw vegan. She
I've
does
seen that.
yoga. She looks so good. And I think that, like Regine, a lot of people just fall into the trap of superficiality. Like, shit, I want to look good. I want to look that good
Yeah.
when I'm
Well,
that
Regine
old.
was superficial, but I think with that video, she was definitely healthier than her husband. I don't. I
Yeah.
mean, the video, the difference is so distinct. It's like, is this real or not? Because at this point, your husband needs to come on board with you because there's no reason for him to
Yeah.
be as stubborn as he is. But she's just healthier. She's vibrant. She's mobile, and that's a big thing.
Yeah.
As there's a lot of people, there's people in their 40s and 50s who have mobility issues or get winded or out of breath or can't walk a mile,
Hmm.
and so you want to be able to do that as you get older.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think like that's how it's catching Regine.
Oh yeah.
It feels like scare tactic ish. It
Yes.
feels like the negative part of the church. It's like, well, if you don't live like this, you are going to
You going to
hell
hell.
forever, for eternity, if you
But I
don't
think
live by these rules.
the difference is with changing your diet, there are proven results. Like technically we don't know what happens after we die. We can believe what we
True.
want to believe,
Hmm.
but with diet changes, you can literally see the testimonies from patients and from doctors.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that you people will offer testimony as it relates to their religion. Like I gave my
Yeah.
life to Christ and my life changed in these ways, you know. And but it's still like, and I probably shouldn't have said hell, but the scare tactic and like when you die, there's going to be this much meat in your system, or you're going to die early because you're
Yeah.
eating meat, and you're not going to feel good because you're eating meat. And then you have like, you're going to be stuck in the cycle of depression because you have not given your life to the Lord. You will be, blessings will never come your way because you are living a life of sin. You are out here in the world, as opposed to like, you're not killing your flesh daily in order to give your life to
Yeah.
God. It's sometimes it's that rhetoric. It's that if you don't do this,
This
these
will
negative
happen.
things will continue to happen to you, and this really bad thing will happen to you. You know, um, they're probably. I know that they're. I mean, I won't offer my full testimony, but like changing over to a vegan diet absolutely changed my lifestyle. Like just I felt so much better. Um and I'm sure that people can say that as it relates to religion, but it's just that I feel like I don't know. I feel like that doesn't work. Like that gets people, but that doesn't
I
keep
think
people.
my thing is you have to do things for yourself, and you have to understand why you're doing something.
Hmm.
If you're doing something because someone else said it or this is what someone else is doing, it's not going to work for you. Like you have to understand why, for whatever
Hmm.
reason, whatever it is. If it's not eating meat, if it's taking a break from dating, if it's, I don't know, reading a book every day, like whatever the thing is, I think it's specific to the person, and you just have to know why you're doing it. I'm not going to do it just because so and so did it. So let me, like,
Yeah.
that's not going to work. Being a follower is not going to work. Like you have to understand your own your own purpose and what works for your body. Because even with different diets, you have to understand your body and learn. I'm like right now, I'm trying to learn my body, and one of the things with different I don't know if diet's the right term, but going vegetarian or being more plant based or not eating meat so much, even taking certain supplements, I've
Mhm.
seen how it's affected my menstrual cycle.
Mhm.
Like I've manipulated my menstrual cycle in ways like I know, okay, if I don't eat these foods, I have a better menstrual cycle.
Yeah.
I know one time I was taking an iron pill and a vitamin D pill together, and it made my cycle come like every 21 days. And I was like, nope, I don't like that. So let me stop doing this. I need to figure out how to
Mm.
change up these supplements because
Mhm.
I don't want my cycle coming every 21 days.
Mhm.
And so, like, you have to really learn your body to know what works well for you.
Yeah. Child. And I mean, in the long run, does it last for Regine? I don't think so.
But she stuck to her gun
For this episode.
because I mean, yeah, for the episode. But I think what the episode was saying, I mean, this episode is very relevant now because, like we said, this vegetarianism, being vegan, being plant based, not eating meat, whatever you want to call it, has always been around. There's always been
Mhm.
people who've been promoting this lifestyle, and
Mhm.
there's always been people who did not want to hear it.
Yeah.
Like everyone else in the
Absolutely.
house,
Yeah.
they don't want to
And
hear
yeah.
that. They're going to eat their meat. They don't care.
Yeah.
So it's very
Yes.
relevant even today. There's always been medical, whatever it was, a talk show, a infomercial, podcast, whatever. It's always someone telling you the benefits of going plant based, whatever the statistics are. That has always been around, and there's people who are going to follow it and people who aren't.
So Regine wants to be a vegetarian. She has gone cold turkey or
Hmm.
cold lettuce,
She
and
went
she
straight. She
is,
went straight to the wheatgrass and
yes.
celery. I was like, girl, you didn't even take no baby steps.
She ain't got no veggie burger. She ain't
She
got
went straight to the
no,
green juice.
she's not becoming a starchitarian where a lot of people like they just
Oh
remove the
yeah,
meat, but you got mashed
I was
potatoes.
doing that.
Everybody
Rice and
does that.
pasta.
Hella rice, pasta, potatoes, just everything. Not a
French
vegetable in
fries.
sight. But so she's going through that, and Overton is expecting his sister coming in from Cleveland, and he has gathered everyone in his apartment. He told the ladies to come to his apartment so they can meet her. I don't think we saw that with anyone. That happens with Max and her mom when her mom comes to visit, but everybody's just being nosy.
Because they did because Max was the last parent we met, or the last family member I think we met.
I think we met Sinclair's parents after we met Max's mom. Because we met Sinclair's parents at the wedding, yeah?
They didn't ever came before then
Mm-mm.
or
It
mentioned.
was
Okay.
always Khadijah and
Mhm.
Overton. I mean, it was always I think Max's parents were the third set of parents that we met. Because we met Regine's mom, Khadijah's mom, Max's mom, Sinclair and Overton's parents, then Khadijah's dad. We never met Kyle's. We only met Kyle's brother.
But yeah, but I'm saying they still had family because we met Overton's uncle. I'm considering family because at one point Max just didn't have no family.
Oh
It's
well,
like
yeah,
you ain't got nobody,
yeah.
nobody coming to check on you.
But I guess like why? I don't think Overton gathered everybody to meet his uncle. You
No.
know, Kyle didn't gather everybody to meet his brother.
Mm-mm.
It's and Khadijah's mom and Regine's mom, they come so frequently that we don't have to gather. I got the sense that they had already met before the first time they appeared on the show.
I mean
But
the friends met Khadijah's and Regine's mom.
I think so. I mean, definitely Khadijah knows Regine's mom because they're childhood friends. Sinclair knows Khadijah's mom because they're cousins. And I
Mm-hmm.
think Max knows everybody. Max
Because they
knows
went to
Khadijah's
college.
because they went to college together. So, but even the guys, it didn't feel like it wasn't how it was with Max.
Right.
With Max, it was like, hello, this is your first time seeing my image, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But yeah, so all of a sudden Overton has a sister and we're just rolling with it, which is fine. I don't think that shows nowadays can do that. You can't do that. Like, um, what's a show that people are watching now? Like,
Abbott Elementary kind of did it when that girl's sister. We found out the white teacher's sister had her little doppelganger at the charter school.
don't hate me, but I have not watched Abbott
Oh
Elementary in a while because it's so many episodes, and I'm like, I need a week off to just sit back and watch that whole. But I think that that would be a part of the story. Like, oh
that
my
was one
gosh, you have a
episode.
sister? No, I'm
No,
saying like,
oh
did they say like you have a sister? Did no one say that, or was it
no,
just like,
no one even
oh?
knew the girl was her sister. She was just being really shady towards her. And then at the end, she was like, "That's my sister," and it was like, "What? How are you supposed to know it was your sister?" Like nobody knew that was her sister even in the episode until the very end.
But that's a part of the gag. Like that's the
Yeah,
joke. This is like Overton just has a sister, and we just have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think that Issa in Insecure can just be like, "Oh, I have a sister." It's like, wait,
no,
what?
she introduced her brother early on.
Yeah, like we
And
knew
so
about
did
your
I mean we knew
brother.
about Molly's that Molly had two brothers.
Hmm.
Do we know about Tiffany's siblings or Kelly's
We
siblings?
we didn't know about Tiffany or Kelly, and that would make sense if Tiffany and Kelly just out of the blue said, "I have a sister." We'll be like, oh, "Okay," because the show don't really revolve around y'all.
Yeah,
Issa and Molly cannot come out the blue and be like,
I have a
I have a
sister.
child, I have a sister. Like they can't do that, you know. But
The only way that
this
would
is the
happen is
'90s.
if Molly's dad had another
Ooh,
child. And it was,
ooh, ooh, child.
that's the only way that would
She
work.
would never forgive him.
Mm-mm.
But yeah. So Overton has a sister, and it's so funny. We've recently seen her play the aunt on Atlanta in a recent episode of Atlanta where the
That was her,
urns.
the
Yeah,
light skinned
that
auntie.
was her. Yeah. And also we saw her in Spike Lee's She's Gotta Have It. I feel like she's a wonderful character actress that just hasn't gotten like a role that where she's the main character.
What's her
Um
name? Do you know?
is it Nicole?
I thought it looks like Nicole to me. I don't
Okay.
see. I can't see it pronounced any other way.
So Overton's sister comes to visit from Cleveland, played by the actress Nicole Brianna White.
What should be Miss Cholet?
Watch it be. Be like, my bad, Michelle. Um, so I mean, she did a couple of Fresh Prince episodes. She did one Family Matters episode. She was on Blossom. She was on the Sinbad show. She was on an episode of Martin. She was in the film Courage Under Fire. It seems like she does. I'm trying to see who was she in Martin? Season 4,
I
episode
missed that
7.
episode.
Hmm. Was
She's
she
on
one
a
of the
lot of stuff.
robbers? Was she one of the people who like robbed them? But
Oh,
anyway,
okay, I remember.
yeah.
Possibly.
So just a wonderful guest character actor. She looks familiar to me when I saw her. Even when I saw her on more than likely
Atlanta.
I can't no like just more than likely the first time I saw this episode, which would have been in the '90s, she looked familiar to me then. I remember her looking familiar to me because she's just one of those actresses where it's like you see her around. Like you can't assign her to a specific film or to a specific show because she hasn't had a lead character role just yet. But you've seen her. You've
You
seen
know who
her.
she reminds me of? That's
Who?
also been around. Her name is Tammy Townsend. Um, you probably don't watch Casey Undercover, but she was Eddie Winslow's girlfriend.
Okay.
They look I mean, they have the
They
similar
do look similar.
light skin with sandy brown hair, but that's she. I know it's not her, but she reminds me of her because they've they've been in a lot of different things.
And see, Tammy Townsend reminds me of Grace Byers from Harlem and Empire.
But Grace Byers is a lot younger.
She is a lot younger, but they look the same. Like they
Oh,
favor to me.
yeah, but I'm
I mean,
saying this
it's.
woman, Tammy and Nicole, they're both in their 50s.
Mhm.
So they've been, like I said, she was Eddie Winslow's girlfriend, and she was in Casey Undercover. And so for this girl to be Overton's sister, and then also be in the Atlanta episode and other episodes, I'm like, okay, like I'm confusing my 50 plus black actresses.
It's because you haven't seen her in a lead space. You wouldn't have done that with Jasmine Guy.
No, 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 no. Yeah, it's
You wouldn't
true.
have done that. You're not confusing those two because but anyway, so yeah, so she comes and Overton is obsessed with protecting his sister. He's
He's big,
pathological
bro.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
He is a I mean, to the point where it's inconveniencing everybody. It's getting on her nerves, it's getting on Kyle nerves, it's getting on everybody's nerves. He wants to know what film they were playing on the airplane. When she comes, he wants to know why her pants are so tight. She wants to know, he wants to know how many holes she has in her ear, how many piercings she has. I mean, just all in this girl's business. He don't do that
It's
with
like he heard.
Sinclair.
Oh, he better not. That's a red flag.
Ain't it a red flag with him doing it to the sister? If he treat his sister like that, how he gonna treat his daughter?
The same way, because it's like he's like his sister's dad. I don't know what role they played growing up, but he's acting like her daddy. He
I think
mad
that
Kyle. She liked Kyle and caught them kissing, and he was just like, "Oh, my sister don't kiss."
yeah. Can we just talk about that because let's just talk about how trifling Olivia is. Okay,
Why do you think she's trifling? She
girl,
can't.
that's
She
so
can kiss
fucking
Kyle.
trifling. She can kiss Kyle, but let's think about intention. Intention. Ding ding.
You don't think
She
she just like they just like each
no,
other?
no, no,
Why?
no, no. I don't think she likes Kyle at all. I think she's showing out. I think that she is tired of Overton treating her like a child. So this is her way to show that she's
She's
an
a big girl
adult.
now.
And it's her way of getting under his skin. I think she wanted to get under his skin.
You think Kyle liked her, or just
I
was
think Kyle was
attracted to her?
attracted to her, and I think Kyle was on some fuck shit too because you know that you are not about to be in a serious committed relationship with my sister. So all this is like
They
some
can
one night
just date.
stand shit. No, you cannot like. But to Overton, there is no just dating. He fell in love with Sinclair first time he saw her. We gonna go on a couple. We gonna get to know each other. Now we together. Then we get married, and that's it. Overton is very by the book in that way, and Kyle knows that about his friend, and so you don't have to be with his sister. There are plenty other women that you can be with. So
Like he saw how
why even invite that type of drama into your friendship with this man? That just felt like, really? You couldn't
did you think Max was kind of a little bit shady towards Kyle and Olivia?
give me
She
an
was
example of
saying little
how.
comments.
What tell me.
I felt like she was just. I mean, well, they always be throwing shots at each other, Max and Kyle, anyways. So I don't think Olivia being there will made it any different.
Mhm.
But I did notice, you know, Max always doing her little 2 cents in towards Kyle.
I looked for that. I didn't find it. It all felt very normal to me. But I wouldn't be surprised if Max is feeling a bit of a way.
Mm-hmm.
Max is concerned about Regine and his food,
Mm-hmm.
as is everyone else. So those are the two stories, and we're going back and forth between them. So the group decides to have a barbecue because Regine done took out the pot roast. She done took out the turkey sausage. She done took out all the meat from the fridge and replaced it with wheatgrass and
And
a
green juice.
cabbage and wheatgrass whip. Okay? Now see, that is where she fucked up. I
You
think
gotta
when the
give people, you gotta let people do things on their own time.
And you also can't assume that everybody wants to be vegetarian. It's just a matter of time that they're going to become a vegetarian. Like, girl, you want to be a vegetarian? Cool. Ain't nobody stopping you. Stop. Don't enforce that on everyone else. Like throwing out a pot roast, that's money.
I know.
There are times where I lean back into my veganism and I'm like, everything in this fridge must go. Everything that's not vegan, it got to get the fuck up out of here. And I'll throw it away. And I have wasted money, but I have wasted my money.
Mm-hmm.
My money.
Well,
I
she
ain't wasting
replaced the
nobody else.
food. She just replaced it with stuff
Girl,
nobody will want to eat. She did replace it.
she replaced it with something that made Sinclair throw the fuck up.
Now, Sinclair was okay. Well, I guess green juice can be a little potent depending on what's in it.
I think because it was a whip, it wasn't even a juice. Like it still had all of that fiber in it. It looked
Mm,
thick. It leaned more towards a smoothie,
yeah.
you know? But what I liked about Sinclair is that in each storyline, she's attempting to be a type of mediator.
Yes.
Overton and Olivia are going through it. Don't we just love that they both have like O and V in their name? But like Olivia and Overton are going through it, and Sinclair is trying to mediate that situation. She's trying to be a buffer between the two so that they can come, not a buffer, but she's trying to have them reconnect.
Sinclair is trying to get in with Olivia, get in with Overton's siblings. She
At
was like,
first,
if
yes.
I can get in good with the sister, she was like, I'm in it. I got the sister. I'm in the
I'm in
family.
there. I'm in there. But yes, and I think at first when she's like shouting out all of these Cleveland trivia facts, that's what she's doing. But when Olivia is like, I'm leaving Brooklyn because you are tripping. And she goes in after her. I think part of that feels like it's more about appealing to the sister so that she can then appeal to the rest of the family. I
Yeah.
think she loves Overton and she doesn't want his sister to leave.
She don't want
And
no drama because that's the thing.
no,
Because this is what happens if the sister is leaves, and then there's drama between Overton and his sister. Then Sinclair gonna hear about it, and she don't want to hear that drama. She's
yeah.
like, listen, You gonna be right here. I'm gonna get your sister. Y'all gonna make up, and I ain't gotta hear nothing. I ain't gotta be in the middle of nothing. I don't want y'all telling me your side of the story, asking me my opinion. No, I have no opinion.
Right. It's all, have you ever been in the middle of that? Have you ever dated somebody and they're not getting along with their sibling? And then,
Yes, but that would
and
happen like all the time, and I was just like, I don't want to hear nothing about it because it's too much. It's too deep. And
it
honestly,
would be,
it was like it was too deep, and it's like that has nothing to do with me. I,
mhm.
y'all gonna make up in 3 days, so
Yeah. But how do you navigate that with the larger family? Like if you are with your partner and y'all are at a family event and your partner and a sibling just start fighting, verbally fighting,
oh,
do you
I never.
stop it? Do you say like, all right, y'all, like let's go? Like what if somebody be like, hey, this ain't got nothing to do with you? What do you do?
I probably wouldn't do anything because usually in those situations, especially if you're grown, that's some deep rooted stuff.
Hmm.
That's not something simple. So it's like whatever issue y'all got, y'all need to figure it out. Like I don't know who's wrong. I'm not picking no sides. Y'all gonna have to figure it out.
But you also have to pick a side. You have to pick your partner's side.
No, let me think about this.
That would be so uncomfortable if you are in
No, it depends on the reason. Because without picking sides, I would probably say you have to look at it from your siblings' point of view. Because that's usually they're both looking at it one sided. Like, oh well, I did this, da da da, and they tripping. And then you kind of have to, as a mediator, be like, okay, well, what if think about it from this point of view?
but
Why
in
do you think
public you
she's like that?
can't do
Oh
that.
no, I
in
wouldn't do that in
in
public.
public you gotta be like, my partner is right. I'm gonna support my partner. And then when y'all get in the car, that's when you could be like, well, when they said this, that made sense to me because such and such. But we gonna always do what you want to do. But have you thought about this? You got to do that in private. You can't do that in front of everybody.
That is true.
So, and Sinclair is also the one who attempts to try the cabbage whip. You know, that felt very loving to me. That felt like, okay, girl, let me taste this. I'm about to throw up. So now I'm in with the shenanigans. We're gonna have this barbecue, straight meat, no sides, no nothing. That's how I knew they
I
was
know. Even
serious.
Sinclair was like, "What about the potato salad?" And
What
Felicia
about
was like,
coleslaw?
"Girl, no, ain't no potato salad. What? No, meat only. Meats
That's how I knew they
only."
was serious, because to me, kind of some of the best parts about the you can't have a barbecue without no potato salad.
I've always liked side items, even for Thanksgiving. Like I don't care about a
Thanksgiving is
turkey.
the side item.
I don't care
Thanksgiving, no
about
one
no
give a fuck
turkey.
about a turkey. And some people don't even eat ham. But you better have that dressing. You better have that macaroni and cheese. You better
Hmm.
have some mashed potatoes or some sweet potatoes, something. And then, you know, gravy, greens, and a roll. And there go my
Exactly.
plate.
Like
I don't need my
I can
nan.
go to a Thanksgiving or a barbecue and just eat the sides. I have no issue.
Yeah. So I think for me, a barbecue is less side heavy, but it's still important. Like you can't
You
have a
have
barbecue
to.
without potato salad. You just can't. Now, maybe you don't need the baked beans. Maybe you don't need that. But what a potato salad at?
Mm-hmm.
You want me to just eat barbecue
Meat
chicken?
and with what?
With what? I don't get it. And juice? No, no, no.
Have you heard about this carnivore diet business?
I have, and I'm scared for those people. I'm scared for the people who do keto, eating 8 slabs, eating bacon, a pound of bacon every morning, and being like, this is healthy. Like, bitch, your arteries
It's he don't never made sense to me because people like, but I'm losing weight. I'm like, okay,
and your
there's
arteries clogged
tons
the
of way
fuck
people
up.
can lose weight.
Okay?
And then I heard about this carnivore diet, and I'm just like, y'all serious? So y'all don't eat no vegetables, and it's supposed to be good for you? Okay.
I think they trying to eat like fucking cavemen. But cavemen, I mean, I don't know much about them, but I know that the how long did they live?
Listen,
How
I
long?
don't believe I'm a descendant of a caveman. I believe the people in Africa were different. I think the cavemen were in the
Okay.
the
In the
European.
Nordic
I think
region.
they were
White,
different species.
white, white,
So I'm not
white.
a descendant of them.
Me
So
neither.
I can't.
Shit. I ain't
My
doing
body
it.
don't do that. My body can't
It
react to
don't.
that.
It does not. And also, like, cavemen was out there fucking hunting shit. Bitch, you're not that fucking active.
True.
You're not that fucking active. Go sit down somewhere. There's that Liver King dude. And speaking of Joe Rogan again, Joe Rogan is like, when is he gonna tell us that he is on steroids? Like when? Do you know this guy who's just eating
Mm-mm.
raw liver?
Mm. Like for what reason?
Up, Liver King admits to using steroids on
Oh
TMZ
my
right now.
goodness.
I'm trying to find.
But what is his reason?
Listen, he says that this is
Does he see
the
results? Like is
way he. I mean, you could look at his body and I mean
but still if he's on steroids, then am I looking at steroids or am I looking at liver?
I I think you can't just use steroids and then have a body that's like ripped. I think you have to use steroids, but you still got to work out, right? I think it's the same as the kids who get the BBLs. Like you still have to work out. Well, Regine brought her real celery stick, not a stalk, a real
One.
celery stick that she found because they done threw all her food out there was wrong.
They missed one.
So, he put that on the grill, you know,
And she
and
ate it.
put it on the grill is getting contaminated by all the meat juice. So she goes to sit down and she's watching Sinclair eat her burger, and that burger looked dry as
I know it
fuck.
had no sauce on it.
Not a bit of sauce, not nan condimento, not no ketchup, not no mayonnaise, not no mustard, not no Grey Poupon, not nothing. And the meat looked dry. And I'm like, Overton, you supposed to be a master on this grill. You're bald. Every man that's bald know how to work a grill, and that's the law. I don't care what nobody say. But anyway, Sinclair's like, "Hey girl, you want a bite of this burger? I see you looking at this burger like it's this a playgirl centerfold." Regine says she want the whole thing.
And she wanted everybody's food. She's like, everybody drop your food in the tray right now. Right
Meow.
now.
And they do. Um, and she is about to eat the food, and I love how she's everybody's just looking at her because this is ridiculous, and so they're like about to watch her eat all of this food. She got a burger, ribs, hot links up in there, and then she's like, don't look at me, look away. But she can't do it. She's got to stick to her principles because she says she don't want to die early. Okay.
She said, I
um
don't want to die early like y'all.
so
I want to live
yeah.
long. So she
So
doesn't. She doesn't eat it. She sticks, which is that's a lot. That's hard. It's one thing to be vegetarian or vegan or plant based, but to do it around a lot of meat, like if you're at the barbecue, most people be like, well, I'm gonna just get one piece of chicken or I'm gonna just, get
Yeah.
one. Let me just get a piece. But she really stuck to her guns, and they. And then at the end, Khadijah was like, you know what? Like, you're really serious about it, but we just, you just gotta tell us how to eat. If you want to do it, cool, but you don't have to make that. I mean, we gotta do it too.
Now, when she started dating Heavy D and when she meets
Oh
his
my
friends,
goodness.
I remember they was eating fish sticks. Now, my question is this: does she consider fish meat, or are we done with the vegetarianism at this point?
Well, then I guess we can explore different diets. We can be pescatarian, or depending on what type of fish you eat, whatever works for your body. That's all what it boils down to.
I think like the main takeaway from the show is change and allowing people to change and allowing people to remain the same if they want. So like Overton didn't want his sister to change. He was very uncomfortable with his sister becoming a woman, becoming somebody that he didn't recognize. And
Mm-hmm.
he has to become comfortable with that. Regine, on the other hand, has changed and she is demanding that everyone change with her. And it don't work like that. So I think both characters are dealing with
Having to change and evolve.
having to, yeah, like they're dealing with either they themselves are evolving or people around them are evolving and they just don't know how to deal with it.
What do you
So
think this says about plant based eating? Or do you think this had an impact? Because this is from the 90s.
it's from the 90s. I think what it just showed me was that because it's not like the Martin episode where he went on that diet craze. Like it
Mm-mm.
wasn't that. This was like somebody wants to make a lifestyle change, and this
Mm-hmm.
is going to be a standard thing for them. It really just shows that this isn't a foreign concept to black
Like, we've
folk.
always been on this wave. This is not something new. We've always been plant
Yeah.
based, or at
And
least trying to be plant based.
it's not just the black people who are living off grid, who are
Yeah.
like, I don't have no phone because that's a government tracking device, and I got my own water source, and my wife walks around naked and did it. Like, no, like this is about like this girl, she lives in Brooklyn with her friends. She works as a boutique. Now, is she going to give up wearing fur? We No,
No.
no, she ain't gonna stop wearing leather. You know what I'm saying? But she is someone who, like, she's young. She lives in a major city, and she is considering moving towards a plant-based lifestyle. I'm gonna say towards plant-based because she's still like partaking in like eggs and cheese and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, even though not really. Like it feels like she was plant-based. I ain't see nothing egg. I ain't see nothing piece of dairy. Hey y'all, hope you enjoyed the show. Hit us up on Instagram at Curry Gumbo. Hope to see you next week. Bye.